Team Gold is now favored by 29.5 points over the same South Sudan, who had 2 late shots to beat us in an exhibition game. So, Paul, do our guys win by 30 or more?
I don't think so, Skip. I just think that
They'd beat the Dream Team by 30, but they can't beat South Sudan.
no, they won't beat the Dream Team by 30. They beat the Dream Team by 20. But but I'll tell you why that. I'll tell you why. See, people wonder, like, why can they beat a team like Serbia by 20-plus points? Why can they handle Canada so easily? But then they play against Sudan, who there were, in the exhibition, who they were 40-point favorites. And why can't they win by 20, 40 points? I'll tell you why, Skip. Because think about this. When you play Canada and they got like 7, 8 NBA players or more that you know, you're familiar with them, right?
Yep.
So you know what Dylan Brooks do. You know what Shai Gilgeous does. You know what Joker does. So now you come against the South Sudan, you don't know none of their players. You don't know their strengths and weaknesses to a certain degree.
You know a couple of them.
You know a couple of them. But for the most part, you're going into a game kind of blindsided.
Yep.
So when you go into a game like that, you don't know, can this guy shoot? You kind of playing them heads. You're trying to see if he can shoot or not. Can he play pick and roll and stuff? So when you're playing against unfamiliarity, your tendency is to just not know if he can shoot, not know should I get up on a guy, not know should I make him a driver or a passer, and it shocks you when you're not familiar with somebody. And saying that, that's the reason Sudan came out and punched U.S. in the face, went up by 15 early. They didn't know they could shoot the 3 like they did. They didn't know they could move the ball. They didn't know all these athletes. Whereas now, there's a little more familiarity. You played them once now. But there's still, combination of unfamiliarity and respect. Do I think they'll win by 29? No. I just think the pride of Sudan will show up. And I really believe this. This team, when I look at all the teams, will be their biggest threat in chasing gold.
You mean of the medal round? Of everything?
This will be their biggest threat, South Sudan.
Man, you're just throwing them out one after another here.
Yep.
That's some
South Sudan will be the USA's biggest threat.
Okay.
In chase for gold.
That ain't what you said a week ago.
No, I sure didn't say that a week ago. I didn't know they had Royal Ivy coaching them, and I didn't know Lou Dang was behind the program. One of my all-time favorites I used to match up with, one of my guys out in Chicago.
Well, you learned your lesson. I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't learn mine.
You didn't learn yours?
No, they gonna bust a hole in South Sudan, man. They realized that they got embarrassed the first time around, even though they won by 1. That was a U.S. embarrassment.
It was.
You can't talk 1992 Olympics and bring this up. You just can't. You can't do that.
Thank God.
You can't talk. We're better than this particular team in '92's Dream Team. If you just squeaked out a LeBron James layup to win the game, when you was favored by 40, okay, it's still high at 30. It's still high.
That's shocking to me.
So that tells you right there, some people feel, though, that the U.S. was sleepwalking, but now they got the film, they got the tape, they got the understanding. You was just talking about it. Well, you didn't know what to do on this guy or this guy, but they know that now. They see it. They understand. They woke up now. They're like, oh, no, we can't afford this.
Yeah.
So I got it at 34.5.
Damn.
You add 5.
Because I'm adding 5. Man, they gonna, just like I said what they was going to do to Serbia, this is what they going to do to them.
Oh,
no disrespect.
Man. No disrespect.
But our dudes ain't going to settle for nothing less because they can't. If you want to be compared or be better than the Dream Team, the original Dream Team, you got to give us something.
You got
to give us something. You got to give us something that say, okay, this is real
But
stuff.
do you know, in the defense of this Team USA, they're playing against somebody that's been in the NBA, 1 or 2 players on every team, whereas the U.S. have guys that just never would have made G League.
I understand. That's what they say. That was what their telling us about the international play back in '92.
Yeah. So
So if the international play back in '92 was watered down,
it was G League.
if it was watered
versus
down,
NBA.
I'm just saying watered down. Now it's better international play this time around. But if our U.S. team is supposed to be better than that dream team, then it all cancels out. They should be able to do the same thing. That's how I look at it, Skip.
So we all watched what happened, South Sudan, after we all made fun of them on Friday.
No, we all.
Yeah.
Don't say we all.
But
I apologize quick. Monday was the apology.
all right. So I watched a Carlik Jones for South Sudan,
Oh, yeah.
who I knew from the G League,
Yeah,
so I
he's
haven't
nice.
watched him much, but he was the MVP 2 years ago and the leading scorer. The G League, for what that's worth, is not worth a whole lot. But Keyshawn certainly knew who Wenyen Gabriel was because he was a Laker and he
Yeah.
played a few minutes here or there. And LeBron surely touted the locker room before the game on, hey, he's athletic and he's long and he can make a few things happen. He's high energy. You got to screen him. And yet, all I see in these numbers of what happened that day was they made 14 of 33 threes. 14, that's 42%. And we made 7 of 28.
Yeah, we shot 7 of 28.
Okay, and that's 25%. And that's it. These games, more than most, are three-point shooting contests, and we shot Serbia right between the eyes. We made 18 of 32 threes.
Yeah,
well, I don't think we're going to do that again.
That's going to be tough to make 18 again.
Yeah, because that's 56%. So, to me, one of these games, you just got to be careful. One of these games, somebody's going to come out hot-handed, and you're not going to be able to make as many threes as you did against Serbia, and you're going to be in for a battle. And then it's going to be up to somebody to close the deal. Okay, so I'm not...
You don't have to be.
I'm not against what you're saying because here's the point. Kevin Durant did not play against South Sudan.
So
He
you're
didn't
giving
play.
me 30?
You know,
Skip.
this is one where if I were a betting man, and I used to be,
giving
this
me
is
30?
one I'm running from this one because I don't trust it either way.
Give me 20.
It's way too many points, but Keyshawn makes a point. They will try to bust these guys up, man. They're going to come out.
Oh, since they're going to bust them up, you giving me 20 points? The spread is 30. Give me 20.
I'd give it to him.
I think I will.
Yeah,
I'll give you
20?
20 for dinner.
So, all
I
right,
will.
20 for dinner. You heard it.
Yeah,
There we go.
because even though they beat Puerto Rico, but I don't think Puerto Rico's got a little Jose Alvarado, and then I don't know the rest of them. And maybe I'm underestimating, but
little Jose
okay, well, they do. That's the only one I know.
Yeah.
And I like him, and he runs around on defense and disrupts and steals
And
the ball.
South Sudan upset them,
They beat
right?
him. It was an upset.
So it was an upset.
Yeah, it was-
Think about that, though.
Because they're a newer country that nobody knows about that's going to go into every game of underdog.
I understand, but they saying upset.
It was 90 to 79.
It was an upset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would the U.S. do to Puerto Rico? What are the U.S. going to
Well,
do?
they're going to do it.
I bet you this.
pretty soon. Yeah.
That's
I
what I'm
bet you
saying.
the spread won't be as high.
It was going to be 29 instead of 29.5?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. In a moment, we're about to debate the new Madden 25 receiver ratings because